And welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole.
I'm Eric Stromer.
And yes, you are Eric Stromer.
I am. And I'll tell you, I just wanted to let you all know that I am excited. You know why?
Why?
I like making gardens.
I do too.
I love it. It's my favorite thing to do.
It's therapy. It really is. And if you aren't yet with the bug of gardening, we want to give it to you because you know what? It doesn't have to be hard. And you're not going to be a failure. And it's not going to take a ton of time. And it's going to make you feel so fulfilled. It's going to just make you go, wow, you know what? I love my computer. I love my iPhone. But now I'm just going to put it aside and I'm going to just connect with nature for a minute. And I'm going to relax.
Yeah.
And it feels good. And why not introduce kids to that gardening experience too?
That's exactly right. And
you did with your kids.
I sure did. And I'll tell you, I've got 3 kids under 16 now. I got a 7-year-old daughter, 10-year-old son. And then him. He's the one on technology like crazy. But anyway, the two younger ones are really, really into this. And I do tomatoes and vegetables every season. And, you know, they're really going big guns now. But they just love the idea of digging in the dirt and really understanding how things work, you know. And if you make the soil right and you support the plant life with healthy soil and you know, great irrigation, you can plant your seeds or your starter plants, and lo and behold, you get to eat stuff that shows up out of the ground. It's amazing. And conceptually, I think it's smart for us to let these kids know how it really works, not stuff that just sort of comes in a polystyrene container. No, it really shows up from somewhere, and this is how it works. To understand
the process.
Exactly.
You know, and then just to kind of have fun. I mean, it is about fun. Hello.
Yep.
So let's talk you through some great ideas, whether you have kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, kids are coming over, and you want to have something to do, right? You want to get the kids excited because they're going to go, I'm bored, right? I'm bored.
And I want to play Game Boy. And I want to.
Well, here's what we're going to have a fun new project: a rainbow garden. This is really great because it's going to teach kids their colors.
That's it. Good idea.
And it's just very, very easy. I mean, when it comes to color gardens, there are a lot of possibilities. You know, take clues from the child. You know, like, find out what colors that they like, and then you just find the plants that go with those colors, and it looks like the rainbow.
Right. And guess what? If you've got a goth kid that doesn't care about color, there's plants that work for him or her, too.
You can do goth.
You can if you want.
You can do, there's some black.
Black stuff.
There's some black stuff.
Right.
Burgundy.
We can do eggplant, right? Yeah.
Why not?
I know.
I hope that the child isn't goth at that
some are.
age.
You know, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, anyway, so you can come up with a rainbow garden. Another really fun idea is to garden using themes. You talked about edibles, right?
Right.
You could, how about appeal to the senses?
Yeah.
You could come up with a garden that's all about different fragrances or different touches and textures. Of course, we love rabbit ears, the fuzzy little ears, right?
Yeah. You mean those little lambs?
I'm sorry, lamb ears.
Yeah.
They taste, there was a fuzzy little lamb ears are great.
Right.
What about sweet, juicy fruits?
Right.
You know, you can just kind of show the different textures or a theme for the garden.
Yeah, and then with each of these different themes, you can kind of create, you know, stuff to go along with it hand in hand. For example, you know, you want to create an herb garden, say.
Yes.
And, you know, where do these different things that we can put in salads come from, or what we cook? And, you know, simple things just like popsicle sticks that you paint, you know, with chalkboard paint, which I love because
the plant markers.
Yeah, the plant markers. They become a great way to sort of identify chives, and then you learn how to spell by writing chives on the popsicle stick with a Sharpie or whatever you use. But it just gives the, you know, participation in family life, I think, is really fun in this manner. And again, I was at a seminar over the weekend in D.C., and it was all these people talking about futurist thinking, right? Even the millennials, the generation that's behind me, you know, these guys that are, you know, 20 to 35 years old, they've been born and experienced technology from the very beginning, but at the same time, they want to unplug completely. So I think a lot of that generation is realizing this is all great, and I can't live without technology. 85% of them actually sleep with their phones and PDAs, right? As opposed to us, and maybe it's 50% in the bed with them. They literally have them, right? But at a certain point, you got to unplug from the technology, and there's not a better way to do that than in the gardening world, I think.
And starting from the very start, right?
Yeah, that's it.
How about an alphabet garden? I mean, this is kind of cute, and all we mean by this is creating a little, almost like a topiary effect, right? Creating an area where it's ground cover or shrubs or whatever, certain kind of flowers, but you position them in the shape of, let's say, their initial, of their first name.
That's
right?
so cute. Yeah.
It's a C. It's a W. It's a whatever.
And then it becomes like, hey, that's the shape of the W for my name. Why?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Or you could also plant based on the name of the flower. Let's say that you're planting cosmos, then you plant them in the shape of a C.
Yeah.
Balloon flowers in the shape of a B. And so that way you can learn your ABCs, with the different shapes.
Great idea.
Yeah.
You know what else is cool?
What's that?
The dinosaur garden. Yeah. The dinosaur garden.
Yay, I love dinosaur gardens.
Yeah, and that's cute. We have these in the terrariums that you made, which I love. Anytime you can, especially for some reason, it seems like with the little boys. I mean, my two guys were really into the whole dinosaur theme. But, plastic, dinosaur guys that you can, grow your plants and then create these little tiny worlds within the garden itself by just having the dinosaurs next to each plant. Then it can almost become like a play area, a sandbox, if you will. But there's nature in there that you've grown and you've chosen these plants wisely. Things like ferns and the shade plants, I think, work really well.
The sago palm is great.
Yes.
In fact, when one of my nieces came over from Michigan a few years ago, when she first came to the house, she said, "Dinosaur trees." So see,
is that right?
That was her association with ferns and palm trees, and so it can not only be a miniaturized version, but it could be, especially if you have a shady spot, it could be a large, adult size, but you could maybe put some signs in there that say, don't feed the dinosaurs.
Oh, that's great. Or stay on path, exclamation point. Right?
Shades of Jurassic Park,
that's
right?
That's it, exactly.
So you could just have like some ferns in there and mosses and different kinds of ginkgo trees. And another really good one is like asparagus ferns. They're really fluffy.
Oh, those are cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then just going whimsical. That's another great way to have kids introduced to a garden. I mean, the goal is to not only get them away from technology, but to really instill a love of nature. And then there's some education involved. Like you said, that with what you're doing, you're showing kids where food comes from. Right? Showing them that, hey, we want to make sure that the honeybees are happy and all that stuff.
That's exactly right.
But then there's some other things, like in terms of, learning about all the other bugs and butterflies and things that come along with it. And of course, bird feeders.
Yeah.
Bird feeders.
That's right. And I tell you, the thing that I think is really important too is to demystify insects and bees. And, I see a lot of these little kids who are terrified of bees, right? But bees are so important to what's going on in nature right now, especially from your experience at the bee center.
Yes.
You have to, if you're introducing them to nature and plant life, you're obviously going to be involved with the insects and the animal kingdom a little bit more. I think it's nice to keep people comfortable around insects and not like run in terror if there's a spider. It's just not that big a deal.
Well, I think it's because of movies. You see things on TV or in the movies, and then you get scared without really knowing, right?
Exactly.
And so introducing, without even necessarily doing plants and those kind of things, just by having some garden decor, like a bird feeder, like a bird bath,
right,
that will introduce nature to your space, that's going to create more wonderment, right?
I got to tell you, since you introduced me to the Thistle Factory, which is now my finch feeder.
The Thistle Factory.
And I swear I have spent so much money on thistle, but I love them. And
Did you try the
revealed the
sunflower?
fact that I have a speech impediment because I can't say thistle.
No, that's it. When you say thistle, you have to say thiffle.
Thiffle.
But the truth is what? That we found that finch don't like generic food.
And they go crazy.
They spit out the other stuff.
They're like, "What is this? Are you
That's
kidding
not a
me?"
steak. I want.
But we also found out that they like the thistle food with sunflower seeds.
It's almost like they're granola.
It's
or something.
almost like they're going to just show up and not go away. I mean, I swear, I have an aviary now as a result of 2 bird feeders in my backyard.
I know. So really do all these things because it'll not only give you a sense of fun for you, bring out the kid in you, but it will, for those kids in your family, give them some fun. And by the way, consider even a pizza garden. I want you to do that because you have tomatoes.
Sure.
You can grow some other
basil
things.
as well. Yeah. Obviously, that's a great idea.
Now you're going to make it for the pizza for Sunday night.
What a nice idea.
We'll put all this on the website again, as always, at yourhomewizards.com because we love the idea of making you just enjoy those spaces that you call home, outside and in. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, you're listening to Home Wizards, and follow us at our website at yourhomewizards.com.
I'll light the fire while you place the flowers in the vase that you bought today.